Hi there. Today on Shift Happens, the 5-step method to manifesting. I am your host, Vicki Lemper, and this is the Shift Happens channel, where we inspire growth and achieve greatness. If you're new to this channel and you want to awaken your power and create your future, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. If you would like to work together, all my contact information is below in the description box. Okay, so welcome back to the Shift Happens channel. We're going to learn the 5-step method to manifesting. So when we encounter a challenging moment, we think that this is a bad thing, right? We have this assumption that when you feel like you have been doing all the processes, that you've been doing all these things, you're imagining, you're affirming, that we should not encounter negative events or negative emotions, right? But this simply is just not the case. Negative emotions and negative events have to happen. It's part of the process. Experiencing negative emotions will always point you in the direction of what you do want. So we're going to talk about how to use those challenging events to get what you want. And you'll want to stay until the end of the video because I'm going to give you that 5-step method so you will be able to manifest all your desires. That's it. Okay, so let's get into this. So a challenging moment. When we desire something, it is often inspired when we encounter a challenging moment. Whether that is in the workplace with a colleague or a boss, it could be a disagreement with your significant person, or you received a bad health report, or you looked at your bank account and saw that your balance was low, right? Those all might inspire some really negative emotions. Whatever the case may be, you immediately felt those negative emotions. So let's take the example of an experience with a coworker. You had a disagreement, you exchanged words, and now you're in your office trying to analyze and disassemble that conversation. But you're in the throes of that negative storyline. So you reach for your phone and you begin to vent with your friend. Now, let's talk about retelling that negative story. I think it's important to be able to vent if it's even necessary to talk to someone about a situation. However, always remember that all of the answers lie within you. You don't have to go anywhere. They're all within you. But we are human. We need someone to commiserate with at times. So here are some things to consider while you are venting, okay? You want to seek the person that will hold you accountable. So what does that mean? That means they will listen, but will not carry that negative storyline to the next level, right? They won't add to that story and make it really blown up, right? You also want to let that person know you're going to vent, but that you only vent for 10 minutes. And then we need to change the subject. I did this quite often with people. I'm like, hey, I got a negative thing to talk about. Just let me talk for 10 minutes and that's it. I always pick a person that is interested in listening, but will seek a solution. You want to have that session where at the end, there's a resolution. Because if you don't seek that resolution, that just means you're going to continue to complain and criticize, and it just gets bigger and bigger. So why is complaining such a drainer? When you continue to complain about a person or event or a circumstance, the storyline will grow. And if you're focused on that negative aspect, and more negative storylines will pop up, because that's what will happen. You'll start to gain momentum in that negative line and not remember what you're after is that solution. So remember, those storylines are just that. They're stories. Rarely are they true. So next time, listen and notice when you're engaged in a venting session, so to speak, you suppose a lot of situations, or you make assumptions. And they're imagined conversations that probably didn't even happen, right? There's rarely any evidence that's like says that, oh, this is what happened. And it's like, no, your mind is creating that storyline. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The momentum's going in that negative line. So those stories happen in your mind, but there is no evidence of most of what we talk about during those venting sessions, right? So when you complain without wanting or seeking a solution, you become a bigger victim. You may not think it, but you are portraying yourself as the victim of everyone's assaults on you. When you dig beyond the actual event, you dig deep down into what you're feeling and thinking, the way you feel about yourself will often influence your interpretation of an event. For example, when I feel like everyone at work doesn't agree with the way I conduct my business, in my case, it's teaching. I'm a teacher. So at the core of this belief is my guilt or my feelings of lack is what is being attacked. Deep down, I do not feel adequate. So I feel like I'm not following the pack. Like I don't teach like many teachers. So then all of a sudden I'm fine. And then all of a sudden I'll start to get in my head and I'll start creating these stories and think, oh, no one likes me. They don't like the way I teach. They don't respect me. They don't value me. They want to get rid of me. I mean, I go from this little story to like, they're going to fire me, right? It can never just be like, they may not like me, right? I go right for the big storyline, right? I don't know if you're like that, but try not to do that. But we get in our head. And so when you start getting this idea that, oh my gosh, they don't like me, I'm not like the other people, you start looking at them, you start comparing yourself, you start thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not like the other teachers, right? And you start to kind of feel it's all derived from lack. It has nothing to do with the other people. They may think it or they might not think it. It has everything to do with you and how you feel about yourself. So if I'm feeling good about myself, I don't even think about what other people think. But at moments, maybe you encounter that negative situation, and then all of a sudden you get in your head and you're like, oh, yeah, I don't feel really good about myself. I don't feel real strong about what I'm doing as a teacher. Whatever, feelings of lack about yourself. It's always about you, right? And so then all of a sudden that storyline gets bigger and bigger and bigger. However, when I teach like the rest of the teachers, I get angry with myself. So when I try to conform myself to what I think they think I should be, it's horrible. Actually, my teaching sucks because I'm not aligned with my true self. When I let go of that storyline, I am my authentic self, and I don't even think about what other people think. I feel super connected with my students. I feel a sense of pride and joy in my chest after I get done teaching. I feel like I'm walking on water because I'm in the flow and enjoying and engaging with my students. So whether or not my colleagues agree or disagree with my teaching style, or if my storyline of them not liking or agreeing with my teaching style is even true, remember, this is a story I'm telling myself. I have never heard them say that they do not agree with my teaching. It is all me. Whenever we feel negative emotions, it's because we are separated from our true self. And our true self is one with source or God or infinite intelligence, whatever you refer to as the higher power. That is always true. It's the law. When we experience negative emotions, we are not aligned with our true self, our higher power, with love. The good news is that we always have a choice in thought. Every moment of every day, we have that choice to change our story. So how do we do that? Here comes that 5-step method, right? First of all, pause. Allow yourself to simmer down. This may take a day or two, but allow yourself. And number 2, allow the feelings to flow through you. Do not try to suppress the negative emotions. Talk with a friend, but do not allow yourself to go on that storyline too long. Number 3, seek a solution. Solutions will always come when you're in a calm state. You will never find a solution when you're experiencing negative feelings. So again, allow the negative feelings to be there. Try to step away from the feelings and observe them as a third party. I'll have future videos on how to observe your feelings without becoming entangled in that negative emotion or that negative storyline in the future. Number 4, change your story. When you are in a calm state, imagine your preferred conversation or the preferred storyline regarding that event. What is the outcome you would like to have? And finally, 5, imagine that preferred story. Take a moment. And if the resolution would be to have another conversation, the work always comes before that event, right? So prepare yourself emotionally and energetically before you have that conversation. Visualize, imagine yourself and the other person engaging in a discourse that is ideal. What would it look, sound, and feel like? See the whole conversation. What is the other person saying? What are you feeling? Was there laughter? What did it look like, sound, and feel like to be heard and valued? How did the conversation end, right? Were you smiling? Were you nodding your head in agreement? Have fun with this imagined story. Be light about it. Don't try so hard, but just kind of have little, even if it's snippets of it, right? Just have fun and be light and imagine this before you have that next conversation. So today, right now, you have the power to change your story. The 5-step method to manifesting. I am your host, Vicki Lemper, and this is Shift Happens, where we inspire growth and achieve greatness. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. That's how we get our message out to everyone. With great love, peace, and joy, and infinite gratitude, this is Vicki Lemper, and this is the Shift Happens channel. I'll see you next time.